Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I know it's been really long. I've been really just busy lately, and um, haven't really had the time to upload any videos, but I have been collecting and I have been getting a lot of new stuff. So today we are going a bit away from the usual, and as you can see here, this is actually my first McFarlane toy, and it is the Harry Potter McFarlane series, Lord Voldemort from the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And first and foremost, I am not really an old Potter fan, so I may or may not get the whole story sequence or the lore kind of all backwards. But nonetheless, I think this is a really cool figure, and let's just go into it. So let's just start off from the box. I think they have done a great job with it. You can see the whole Harry Potter up here. You get lots of scribblings and sort of like magical writings all over the box. It says Wizarding World over here, Lord Voldemort, a picture I think of young Potter over here, not much on the side, and in the back you get a whole view of the other characters you can collect in the series. You have Harry, Hermione, Ron, Voldemort, as well as Buckbeak, and I do not really know how you get Buckbeak. I thought it was kind of like a Marvel Bureau figure thing they were going for, but it doesn't seem so. And there is emblem here, which I have no idea what does it really mean. But then again, all in all, a pretty good box actually, and I'm pretty glad I got this figure, because out of the box it looks really interesting. So out of the box you have Lord Voldemort posed all menacingly about to cast whatever spells he's got, and it comes with a Nagini. And let's just go into what comes in the box, since I already opened it. You get one figure, which is of course Lord Voldemort. It also comes with I think this is the Elder Wand that Dumbledore lost, or Voldemort stole once he died. I'm not sure. It comes with a rather posable Nagini. We'll go into this after that. It comes with a nice little figure stand that says Harry Potter. Not much at the bottom, it's hollow, not much on the back, just like that. And it comes with a nice sort of diorama, which has the background of the whole Hogwarts shield burning down. I think that was towards the end of that Deathly Hallows 2, when Voldemort just blew that whole place apart. And it comes with two little plastic stands. You can see here, which is, I'm pretty sure, is used to hold up that diorama thing. Yeah. So everything aside, let's start with the wand. Frankly, like I said, I never really collected the whole Harry Potter series, so I don't really have a benchmark to really compare. All I did know that there was just the Mattel series like ages ago, and back then technology and toys weren't really all there yet. So I don't really have much of an opinion of this, although I do think it's kind of thick for one in ratio to the figures. The second one we'll look at is actually Nagini, and I think they did a really good job on this. Just look at all the scales. I think there was that show where you really saw Nagini in her human form. If you watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, I think that was part 2. And just looking at this, you have really well done sort of snake scalp with her fangs painted, snake eyes, snake mouth. I'm not sure if you can see, I'm losing focus. Yep, and these scales are just pretty darn good. It comes with almost, I think, 4 points of articulation, one at the head, another around the neck, one more towards the body. Yeah, so three points of articulation, and pretty good. Once you have Nagini all posed up, you can do certain things. You can sort of just twist it around and make Nagini look like she's attacking or something. I never really expected them to give Nagini as accessory, but I'm pretty glad they did. I can see many people looking for this just for the sake of the snake, because it is really well done, really well sculpted, and additional articulation as a point. Great. I'm not sure if mine's an error or is this actually accurate to the screen, because I seem to have like a one sort of blind eye on the left, while the right eye is pretty much clear. You guys can see. I'm not sure if this is exactly how Nagini looked like in the show, or is it just a production error. Who knows? Now let's get into the figure. I don't think they were actually using digital print for this, but just looking at this, I think they really did an amazing job with the face sculpt. Let's see how much of zooming can I get. It really captures that near snake, near less of a humanoid, sort of resurrected Voldemort. The eyes are painted really well. There's a hint of blue if you see. The face is kind of expressionless. I was hoping for that whole angry Voldemort face, the one he casts spells and he just goes nya nya and stuff. That would kind of just made this amazing as a set. But I think it's a really well done face sculpt, and on the head you can see there are the veins that's just I think just painted all over. I think you can see that. Yep. And then his ears I think are done really well. I think the skin tone is done great. I don't see any paint errors. I think McFarlane has done a great job. Good balance of head articulation. He can look down this much, he can look this much up, but he can go around here and here. Now the interesting part, this is where it gets really good, is the cloth rope, number one, and of course number two would be the many points of articulation, which would have never imagined McFarlane to bring to the table. So first and foremost, let's talk about the rope. It is pretty much a very simple rope, but I think it does the character justice of what it needs to be. Voldemort was always wearing this really loose, sort of baggy rope throughout the whole show, and I think they captured it really well. It looks like he's, wearing probably some Gucci or Versace, but all in black. How the rope actually fastens to the figure is with, you can see over here, it comes with sort of like an elastic strap that makes sure the rope doesn't go with the hands. Pretty smart and pretty well hidden. The same on the right side, actually, you can see over here. And for the body and the neck, it's actually a very thin layer of Velcro, which just holds things together. So I'm now going to slightly undress him, and so he has 3 points of Velcro, 1, 2, and 3, and out of it, yeah, Voldemort looks like he has been working out. I'm not sure if you can see this, if this picks up in the camera, but he is ripped. All the times he failed to kill Harry Potter, he has been wasting it at the gym. Okay, I would not have imagined Voldemort to look like this under his robe's naturality. I thought he would be a much more of a very skinny, frail sort of figure, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pose him like that anyway. I'm not going to have him all open leg and come at me, bro, so it wouldn't really matter. But I am surprised that they gave him sort of this much of a buff sculpt. They probably just used this maybe for one of the other figures, who knows. But yeah, check out the articulation. Now that's what we are here for, aren't we? There is an ab crunch, can go down this much, and also a slight chest crunch that goes down, torso crunch. The legs as well come in I would say this is something like a swivel ball joint, but not a full one. It can go far this much. It can go back. It can't go back. His ass is in the way, so he's kind of thick, so you can't really move the leg back. It's kind of like just stuck here, so he can only do up poses and stand straight. The knees are on a double joint. You can see here. This can go about this much, but the joints are kind of hard to move, so you have to be careful. Like mine seems to be falling off. If you notice, it seems to bend easily. I'm not sure why. And of course on the legs, you have ball joints as well as a small little front pivot, which is a lot of articulation for a McFarlane toy. Like I said, I've always heard of McFarlane toys having really horrendous articulation. So this is definitely the first. And I think the arms are butterfly joints. Check that out. Butterfly joints. How hard has it been for Hasbro to give us butterfly joints, and McFarlane has gone and given us butterfly joints. And also worthy mention is that, let's see if I can pull the whole rope. I don't want to take it off because it looks like it's going to be a pain to put back on. You have double jointed elbows. He can go all the way back. He can reach back, and actually with the butterfly joints, he can reach back and touch his hair. He can scratch his balls. And yeah, you know, he get really good wrist rotation because it's on a ball joint, which is really, it's good. And he can go this, he can go that, 360. I think the playability on the articulation is really the main point of the Voldemort figure. You know, I never expected McFarlane to give me something like this. It's really made the fun of playing Voldemort the last few days really exciting, because you can put him into so many interesting positions. Like I said, my only down part is that I have a kind of like a weird sort of a wonky loose leg, but other than that, I think it's pretty good. And now for the fun of comparison, here we have an ensemble of cast and characters from various shows, pop culture, as well as manufacturers. On the far left, we have the NECA Pants Labyrinth Pale Man, which is of course a very frighteningly intimidating figure. You can't get it to stand more strict than this. It was after all of the Hunch Monster. Next you have the Mafex John Wick 2 John Wick figure. Absolutely love this, never got the chance or time to review this. Then of course Voldemort, the Hasbro Lightning Collection Power Rangers Lord Zed, and of course the Hasbro Marvel Legends Captain America Worthy. So I think this is a very good ratio of figures, so let's get into it. So standing over here, the height of the Paleman stands really exactly at 7 inches. The Mafex John Wick slightly about 5.8 inches, just below 6. Voldemort stands at exactly 6.5 inches tall. Lord Zed, if you discount that whole Teletubby thing, stands about 6.4 inches tall. And last but not least, the worthy Captain America stands slightly just on the dot of 6 inches. So there you have it. That is an entire mix of different figure heights. And just like that, we are at the end of the video. What do I think about this figure? Overall, I think it is really amazing. McFarlane has really brought the game in terms of articulation this time. The face could have been better, I think, if they use a digital face sort of print, but then I think they still did a really tremendous job with just the paint. I would have of course wish he had that crazy angry face accessory, but then again, the accessories even here are, I think, very sufficient. You get the Nagini, you get the Harry Potter base stand, or perhaps I would have been really satisfied if they just done away with the Harry Potter base stand and the 2 plastic packs at the back and replace it with an additional face instead. But all in all, I think this is an excellent representation and probably by far the best to date Lord Voldemort figure we have, aside from the this of course taking in account that, you know, we don't want to compare these with the very expensive sort of Hot Toys Sideshow collectible sort of range. But for this price, for this range, for this much articulation, accessories, cloth robe, I think it is really the value for your money. I highly recommend this figure. I would not know much of the others because I don't intend on collecting them. I just thought Lord Voldemort seemed to add really well into my whole collection of villains and bad guys, and I like it a lot. And if you do have a chance, by all means, really pick this up. I'm Ultimathu. Thank you for watching, and if you like my videos, subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.